Nestled along the sun-kissed Costa del Sol, Torre del Mar is a charming coastal town in the province of Malaga, Spain. Known for its pristine beaches, vibrant promenade, and warm Mediterranean climate, Torre del Mar offers a delightful blend of relaxation and excitement. The city also hosts a prestigious international air show. In 2024, the 9th edition of the event was held on Sunday, the 8th of September, with rehearsals taking place on Friday and Saturday along the seafront. Near the beach promenade, some participants set up shop along other aviation memorabilia traders. As always, the show drew enormous crowds to the Torre del Mar beach, as many as 300,000, all enjoying an action-packed display put together by the team of European Airshow Council board member Pablo Gonzalez. The show ran from noon until 3:30 non-stop. 10 minutes before the flying display kicked off, local rescue services put on a demonstration with rescue dogs, trained to assist swimmers in distress. These highly trained animals drew a lot of attention and admiration from the audience, and they clearly enjoyed all the love they received throughout the weekend. The flying display itself opened with the first contribution of the Spanish Air Force. Jumping from a Casa 212 is the oldest team of the Spanish Air Force, the PAPAER, the Patrulla Acrobática de Paracaidismo del Ejército del Aire, or Spanish Air Force Acrobatic Parachute Team. The PAPAER not only participates in air shows and festivals, these elite soldiers are also high-level athletes who represent Spain in the most prestigious worldwide competitions, both civilian and military, with a track record that includes titles such as world and Spanish champions in various competitions. They have recently managed to break a new world record by jumping with a Spanish flag, measuring 1,350 square meters and weighing 60 kilograms. This Spanish flag is perhaps not as large, but still looks very impressive, flying between the two skilled parachutists. Their display ends with a flyby of their Casa dropship. The program was tightly packed with no breaks at all between the different acts. New acts entered the display box as the previous left. The Real Aeroclub de Sevilla is an institution of Spanish aviation with almost 100 years of history. An entity that preserves and transmits the values of its founders. The Real Aeroclub de Sevilla is a non-profit entity and puts all its efforts into promoting air sports, preserving aeronautical heritage, and training pilots. It is a pioneer in promoting inclusive aviation, developing activities in collaboration with other entities so that aviation reaches people with disabilities. They have a solid base with nearly 200 members and around 1,000 trained pilots. Here we see them in action with 2 Cessna 172s and a Piper PA-28. Moving on, the audience got to see an EC-135 of the Spanish Police Air Service. Its robustness, agility, power, and sophisticated surveillance systems enable it to perform a wide variety of missions. It has a high-resolution, long-range, gyro-stabilized camera which can identify people from vehicles and transmit the images obtained in real time to units on the ground. Powerful searchlights and loudspeakers make its presence essential at large events or in operations to assist citizens. The main mission of the Police Air Service is to support other police units. It has several bases around the country, including one in Malaga. Their participation celebrated 200 years of the Spanish police service, as you can see from the markings on the fuselage. A very different type of display was put on by these two paramotors. One of these was flown by the four-time world paramotor champion Ramon Moriles. He has been taking part in competitions since 1990. He became Spanish champion no fewer than 14 times and has taken part in the tough Red Bull Cross Alps, a unique competition where the best pilots on the planet faced tough flights up to 4,000 meters high, crossing the Alps. He broke several records, including the world altitude record in a single-seater paramotor with 7,027 meters in 2021, and the world record distance flying 1,105 kilometers from Jerez to Lanzarote over the Atlantic Ocean. Joining him for this pair's display is Cesar Canudas from Mallorca. He started flying at the age of 15. He is known from his dizzying displays, reaching speeds up to 80 kilometers per hour and skimming low over the sea with daring wingovers. The exciting display showed exceptional mastery of the paramotor and proved very popular with the crowd.
Ya se sabrá de muchísimo que era con paracaídas, y acabó siendo paracaídas. Tenemos muy
the first of two aircraft belonging to the Spanish Guardia Civil. Very rare to see at an air show, and therefore all the more popular. This is an AS-365 Dauphin helicopter belonging to the Malaga Air Unit. The crews are elite, a requirement that is imposed by the risky and complex nature of their tasks. The helicopter can reach speeds up to 300 kilometers per hour, driven by two powerful engines. And it has an arsenal of complex surveillance and observation systems such as optronic equipment or a wide-spectrum camera capable of detecting the heat of a body or obtaining very clear images, even in the worst conditions, and traveling at high speed. They perform maritime surveillance, fight against drug trafficking, public safety, search and rescue, support for special units, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. A ship of the Guardia Civil also enforced the maritime exclusion zone set up for the air show, further strengthening their presence at the event.
esa coordinación del cuerpo benemérito.
The Dauphin was then joined by another aircraft of the Guardia Civil, a Beech King Air 350. Seeing without being seen is the unit's motto. This is the only of its type, its entry into service in 2020. This stealthy vigilante has a powerful 360 degrees scanning radar, capable of detecting vessels at 20 miles and tracking up to 50 targets simultaneously. It is equipped with powerful cameras that allow it to record from a considerable distance, day and night, without being detected. It provides crucial evidence in drug trafficking cases or illegal migration, and also carries out maritime surveillance missions in coordination with international organizations. Then it was the turn of the Spanish Air Force again for a very different and very popular demonstration by Grupo 43. They fly the Canadair CL-415 amphibian aircraft. At the beginning of June, they leave Torrejón de Ardoz for their deployment bases around Spain to engage in real combat against fire. They fly in difficult conditions with minimal visibility, enveloped in a hostile atmosphere, capable of making their engines cough due to the dense smoke loaded with suspended particles. They also face the threat of high-tension wires and that of an airspace saturated by other firefighting aircraft. Here you can see the aircraft demonstrate its agility when it lands on water. And here, the crew enjoys a patriotic moment, waving the Spanish and unit flags. They are popular not only in Spain, but also in other countries where they deploy, such as Greece, Tunisia, and Bulgaria. They use seas, rivers or reservoirs to reload, sink their hull 30 centimeters into the water to fill up in just over 10 seconds, flying at more than 100 kilometers per hour until the full load of 6,000 liters is in the plane's bowels. They release their load at speeds in excess of 200 kilometers per hour. Here they will demonstrate a reload and drop in a single pass.
Tiene muchísima capacidad de arrastre. Ahora hay dos formas, digamos, de apagar porque tienen la propia presión del agua hace posible que la llama quede extinguida. Ellos también pueden. Vamos a recibir volumen.
And again, a very different type of display. Variation was the key at Torre del Mar 2024. Inside this sleek avant-garde machine, made from composite materials such as carbon fiber, we can distinguish the spirit of the pioneers of Spanish aviation. This ELA-10 Eclipse is a high-performance machine and was developed by ELA Aviación Oficial, a leading company in the sector worldwide, and the one that has manufactured and sold the most aircraft in the history of Spain. Its autogyros are sold in 47 countries, enjoying well-deserved international recognition for the quality, reliability, and safety of its gyrocopters. At the controls, here is the Malaga-born Francis Giménez, performing high-performance maneuvers at speeds up to 165 kilometers per hour. The first of two aerobatic demonstrations then, this one flown by Camilo Benito. He flies this Cap 10 aerobatic aircraft designed and built in France. Camilo Benito was born in Colombia and raised in Marbella. He is a computer engineer and founder of the Andalusian Acrobatic Flight Club.
Caída de alas, auténtico campanazo,
He is also a member of the Spanish aerobatic team. The Madricap 10 was a very capable aircraft for its time, flying for the first time in 1968. It was the aircraft of choice of the French Air Force's aerobatic team at the time, but it has since been superseded in performance by more modern aerobatics aircraft, such as the one we'll see coming up, which seem to be able to defy the laws of physics.
Avión construido en manera de que lleva algunos refuerzos gráficos. Realmente el avión no aguanta. La mayor de sus la cabina, la cúpula también tiene un sistema de lanzamiento. De esa forma te sientes una zona de cooperación. Es sólida, el avión es el piloto, cualquier último lanzamiento que tengas de mano hace que el avión se mueva. Una rueda de redes necesitamos manejar, sin duda con una circunferencia del cielo y al mismo tiempo has dicho media rueda de redes. Una figura complicada en la acrobacia de competición, directo al punto intermedio, rompemos penetración.
And here, you can see one of the trees that prompted some of the editing choices made in this program.
Avances en competición, el código de significantes y bonitos que vamos a ver de calidad. Y hay muy buenas características código criptográfico de AESI usado a nivel internacional. Alabeando el vuelo de cuchillo, un gran motor, amigos, para el camino.
Here we see a much more potent aerobatic aircraft, the Edge 540, flown by Juan Velarde. He was part of the ENVA National Acrobatic Flight Team from 2004 to 2015, managing to take Spanish air sport to the top worldwide. The Zivco Edge 540 V2 comes with a 300 horsepower engine, only 540 kilograms of weight, thanks to the extensive use of carbon fibers and composite materials, and can reach speeds up to 425 kilometers per hour. Juan was the only Spanish pilot in the Red Bull Air race between 2014 and 2019. This plane was originally piloted by the British Paul Bonhomme, who won several world titles with it.
Con una máquina que tiene la marca mejor del mercado de los aviones acrobáticos, esa relación entre sus cúpulas, una diseñada de Oklahoma y que los
Juan Velarde flies an Airbus A330 as a captain for the company Iberia, and also flies classic planes for the prestigious Infante de Orleans Foundation as a volunteer pilot.
Palanca al pecho, no se le acaba la cuerda nunca, como verás, 340 caballos para 500 kilos, fácil. Gracias a las organizaciones, por promover la aeronáutica y el amor por la aviación de tranquilidad. 400 kilos de coque cada una. Amigos, antes.
From the annals of Spanish aviation history comes the first jet aircraft at the show, the HA-220 Supersighter, flying at the show for the first time. The HA-220 is powered by two turbines. Saeta means arrow in Spanish. It is a version derived from the legendary HA-200 from 1955, the first Spanish aircraft with a pressurized cabin, and the first to be exported specifically to Egypt. Its pilot is Carlos Bravo. This aircraft left the workshops of Hispano Aviación in 1971 and served with 214 Squadron based in Moron. It is kept airworthy thanks to the Asociación Aeronáutica Aviación Histórica. Torre del Mar was the first Spanish seaside show to feature both solo jet displays of the Spanish Air Force. Here we see the first one, the C-15, known elsewhere as the F-18 Hornet. This EF-18 belongs to the 12th Wing, based at Torrejón. The main mission of ALA-12 is to protect the Spanish airspace 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The Spanish Air Force ordered over 80 legacy EF-18Ms, which have been significantly upgraded since they entered service in 1986. Appearing at Torre del Mar for the first time was Team Raven.
Ahí los tenemos, amigos, de derecha a izquierda. Team Raven, un gran aplauso, sí, pasa
Team Raven is an aerobatic display team in formation based at Swansea in Wales. They fly 6 Vans RV-8 aircraft. These are kit-built aircraft that owners can put together themselves. The RV-8 is a fast aircraft with an excellent climb rate. Their display is highly varied and fast-paced, making the most of the maneuverability of their aircraft to show some attractive and popular moves in the sky over Torre del Mar. A very popular Spanish Air Force team that unfortunately doesn't leave its borders very often is the Patrulla Aspa, one of only a few helicopter display teams worldwide. They come from Armilla Air Base, Granada, and they celebrated their 20th anniversary in 2024. Over the years, they have made some changes to their display, most notably the addition of a smoke system to accentuate their precise maneuvers.
Quiero destacar que este año estamos de cumpleaños, 20º aniversario, intentando hacerles disfrutar con las maniobras de este pedazo de equipo de aviadores. Hemos recorrido toda la geografía española, además de multitud de países europeos, hablando del nombre de España.
There are 2 pilots per helicopter, and they are all instructors from ALA 78. They share the complex work in the cabin during the displays, where the pilot in command is in charge of carrying out the maneuvers, concentrated on the outside, while the second pilot is in charge of the mechanical part, controlling the engine parameters. They use the EC-120 Colibri, which are used to train all Spanish helicopter pilots. The same type is also used for the same purpose at the base of Dax in France to train all Belgian and French military helicopter pilots.
Con todos ustedes, rotura, ahí está. Ahí tenemos dibujado, ahí está, en esta raya del mar, este cielo, puerta 3, 2, 1, 2 contra 2. Inicio también este cruce. Por la mínima distancia podemos ver desde aquí que se pasan sus motores. La línea increíble, los gigantes de los trenes. Aquí nos tenemos la representación también de higos, esto está bien creado, esto está calculado. Fuerte aplauso para este grupo de uno. Se van a enfrentar entre sí y posteriormente van a realizar 2 giros en ascenso de 360 grados hasta alcanzar una altura aproximada de 200 pies. Ahí lo vemos ya casi finalizando 2 giros de 360 grados. Una vez alcance.
Here the team round off their display, drawing the Spanish flag in the sky. La única patrulla del mundo formada por 5 helicópteros. Gracias, compañeros, por esta magnífica demostración. The show concluded with the second solo jet display provided by the Spanish Air Force, the Eurofighter Typhoon, or C-16, as the Spanish Air Force designated. The noise of its 2 powerful EJ-200 engines shook the beach. The Typhoon is a joint project by Spain, Italy, the United Kingdom, and Germany. They produced an incredible machine where power, agility, and precision merge, making it one of the most advanced and versatile in the world. Extraordinarily maneuverable, capable of flying at 2.5 times the speed of sound, it is made of highly resistant and lightweight composite materials, equipped with advanced systems that, in addition to lightening the pilot's workload, provide valuable information about its surroundings or target tracking. This aircraft comes from ALO 11, based at Morón de la Frontera. With this exciting Typhoon display, we come to the end of our look at the highly successful 2024 Torre del Mar Aviation Festival, a must-visit for any aviation enthusiast, and we take a final look at the tree that provided some welcome shelter from the powerful Spanish sun.